Everybody's hating on the Sony FX2, and I think that I am the exact market that they're looking for. And maybe this will help somebody else that also likes it, but sees what everybody else is saying about it and is kind of having second thoughts. So, quick background on me. I use my camera as a freelance videographer and photographer. I'm a hybrid shooter, so I do both. I don't want to say 50-50, but it's pretty close. I do video maybe 60% of the time, photo 40%, something like that. I shoot wedding videos. I rarely shoot wedding photos now, so it's mostly wedding videos. Corporate work, social media content, testimonials, things like that. Now for me, with weddings being most of my business, or what I'm kind of working on making most of my business, I knew I needed a B camera. My main camera is the Sony a7 IV. I absolutely love this camera. This is amazing, does everything I need to do. That's my main camera. I knew I needed a second camera, so I picked up the Sony FX30 at some point last year. Actually, it was about a year ago exactly. And I got some amazing shots with that camera. Yes, it was a crop sensor. There was just no way I could afford the Sony FX3 at the time. You know, real talk, I still can't. Outdoor shots, in-studio shots, anything where I was able to control the light, or if there was plenty of light from outside, it was excellent. It did really, really good. Where it started to struggle and where it was getting a little bit annoying for me was when I was shooting like a wedding reception or something indoors, and now the light was really, really dim. That being a crop sensor, it wasn't the best B cam at that point, and I noticed a lot of times I would not use that footage because it just didn't line up to what I was used to with the a7 IV being a full frame camera. And I ended up selling it a couple months ago to pick up the A7C2. The other annoying thing with it being a crop sensor camera, I didn't like how my full frame lenses were starting to work on the crop sensor, meaning my widest angle lens was a 20 millimeter. The full frame, it's 20 millimeters. On a crop sensor, it's 30. So I would need to buy a new lens, a wider angle lens. So I'm looking at maybe that Sony 16 mm 1.8. That on my full frame would be 16. But on the crop sensor, it would be 24. So now it's like, all right, so I need to get something even wider. Maybe I'll go with the 11 millimeter, or the Laowa 10 millimeter. But then at that rate, I was like, well, instead of buying that lens, why don't I just sell this camera, use that money that I would have to buy a new lens, and then just upgrade to a full frame camera. So of course, you know, I think, all right, maybe the a7 IV again, I can just get that same camera. Looked at the FX3, and I was like, oh, $4,000, huh? So I stopped looking at the FX3, and I decided on the A7C2. Only downsides were still no fan, which I'm used to already. So I bought that little Ulanzi fan. I'll link a couple things in the description. If you want to help a small channel out, you know, it'd be great. No fan, and it doesn't have dual SD card slots, which I really like having on the a7 IV, just in case. And then here comes the Sony FX2. So if you stuck with me this long, thank you so much. Here we have a camera that has dual SD card slots, has a built-in fan, 33 megapixels, so it's gonna be excellent for photo and video. It's basically the a7 IV that I loved, just in the upgraded body of a cinema camera. Now, what a lot of people are complaining about with it is it's just a repackaged a7 IV. But where I see it is, it's an upgrade. I mean, here in the US, it's only a $200 difference. It's an upgrade from the a7 IV, an upgrade from the FX30, and a way to help you build or grow towards the FX3. For me, my wallet is not ready for an FX3, but my work is a little bit past an FX30. Not saying anything bad about the FX30, it's just for what I do, already invested in full frame lenses, it's just not a good fit for me. It reminds me a lot of, I'm a sneakerhead. It reminds me a lot of how everybody dogs on the mids. So if some Jordan 1s come out, they come in lows, mids, and high tops. High tops are the ones that everybody wants. They're like, oh, these are the best. These are the ones. Don't get the mids. Lows are ones that people can put up with. They're like, all right, you know, if it's a good colorway, wear them in the summer, good. The mids, they're halfway between high top and low top. Really, you can't even tell the difference when they're on somebody's feet. People online are always, oh, forget the mid, don't get the mid. Mids are trash, that's for people who don't know shoes, all that stuff. It kind of reminds me of that, where a lot of people are online and they're saying, oh, the FX2 is garbage, don't get the FX2, you're just rebuying an a7 IV. But there are people that like the mids. The mids, you can save a little bit of money and still get that same look. I see the FX2 in the same way. Save a little bit of money, maybe use that towards a lens, and you get a look that's similar to the FX3. So I see myself picking one up as a C cam, maybe my new B cam. Actually, maybe it would be my main camera because it would have the fan, so I don't have to worry about it overheating. There's options, but I'm excited about it. I personally can't wait to rent one, test it out, and see if I really do like it. Having the ability to still take high resolution pictures, think about it for like thumbnails, think about hybrid shooters that have to do both at the same time. There's definitely a market for this camera. If this is something that you're thinking about, don't let the people online scare you away from it. It's definitely got an audience out there. Otherwise, Sony, a multi-billion-dollar company, wouldn't have released it, right?